All right, so here's the deal. We're making a tower defense, and I'm using Zig because I was sitting there thinking one day, why make a tower defense in a language that I understand on a problem I don't understand when I could go against my own personal advice of never to have two unknowns at the same time and instead have a nice menage a trois of two unknowns and me menage a twaing. And so this is what we're going to do. We're going to build a very simple tower defense. So let me just hit you with the stats, the facts, the reasons, and then from there, we're going to tell you how this is going to work because it's going to involve ChatGPT. You may have heard of ChatGPT. So the general idea is that we're going to have some sort of board that exists out there, okay? And on the board, we're going to have two regions. We're going to have a top region and a bottom region. The middle region is, no, you cannot build here, okay? This is not for you. And you get to place a tower every turn. It's going to be turn-based due to the ChatGPT integration. And so you're going to be able to place a tower, I'm going to be able to place a tower, and then 3 rounds or 5 rounds or some amount of rounds will play. And then it'll freeze again, and everyone will get a new chance to place some towers. Every tower, so rule 1, every tower has some sort of limited ammo. Once it runs out of ammo, it dies. If the tower takes damage, it loses ammo. So you have one resource in which you're contending with. Okay, good. 2, at some point, this middle ground falls away, and you are allowed to put a tower anywhere on the map. Okay, anywhere. Up here, down here in the middle. All right, so towers anywheres, which means that if 2 towers of opposing teams are close enough to each other, they start firing at each other or firing at creeps, depending on how it goes. 3, creeps at this point, maybe slightly longer in, who knows, will start coming into the side. If they make it all the way across and touch the other side, you lose 1 tower randomly, okay? Painful. Don't put all your eggs in one tower. You know what I'm talking about? 4, you can upgrade towers by placing on your turn, placing a tower on a tower. This will replenish its ammo, increase its maximum ammo, maybe increase its fire rate, its damage. You know, you get some ideas. You got the ideas, okay? And number 5, the first one to lose all their towers loses. All right, so now that we have the basic idea done, how are we going to do this? You can naturally see that this is actually a really good ChatGPT program because ChatGPT will be able to get the current state input into it and determine its output, where to place the next tower. So it shouldn't be too hard. You guys get to vote via chat. Hey, I want, everyone's just going to say something. Maybe they just say X, Y, and that's it. And it's going to place a tower. Most voted position will be where it places. So I'm going to let ChatGPT decide, and then I'm going to let this thing go for a little bit. You guys will open up a browser and see the real-time stuff. I will also include, say, a bunch of different votes for, where everything's at. That makes sense. Hey, we have 20 votes for this position, 10 votes for this position. I'll give, the top 3, so you kind of know what everyone's thinking. And then this will last for maybe 30 seconds per so many rounds, and it's going to go through. So a game should hopefully take maybe something like 10 to 15 minutes to play through. I think that's a pretty reasonably long tower defense game. And if ChatGPT wins, it's very, very simple. We're doomed. If ChatGPT loses, we're Chads. Chads all the way. Okay? And so there you go. That is the tower defense that we're going to be making. We're doing it in Zig. I've never done Zig before. I'm starting to like Zig. I'm starting to feel like I can move a little bit in Zig. There's a huge amount of things that I dislike about Zig, including the LSP, the integration with your editors, all that kind of stuff. Very rough around the edges. It's definitely designed for enthusiasts currently. I'm curious when the mass adoption is going to happen. Even me going from 0.12 to 0.13, apparently there's some breaking changes that are going to be painful to kind of work through. So not cool, not excited about that, not the place I want to be, but we're going to try it out. We're going to see how good it is. Yeah, there you go. And it's going to work with all my other prior work. So for those that know about the Doom stuff, I have a Go program that spawns a program, parses out ANSI frames, puts it up to a relay. The relay then dishes it out to a bunch of people live. So I'm going to be able to do all of this really easily. So all of this will take a small upgrade because now I'm going to want to display the exact ASCII for everybody in the exact color. A little bit different. So there's a little bit of work that's left in the Go program. And then, of course, integrating with ChatGPT I'll be doing in Go because I'm going to want to use that over and over again for a bunch of programs. So just having a ChatGPT controller will be really important. And then after we do this, I would also like to do potentially Thor's chat versus ours. Also, very easy to do. And this one will have to do some sort of time limit, right? We're going to actually have to really test you guys. Like every 10 seconds, we're placing a round. Rounds are actually just moving forward at a not pausing rate. So we're going to have to do some interesting programming there for that to happen. And then I also want to do ChatGPT versus like Gemini, right? I think that's going to be a lot of fun. Or Claude, or whatever one's just really easy to integrate with, because ChatGPT is really easy to integrate. So there you go. That is everything. Does that make sense? Everybody on the team? ChatGPT 3.5 or with payment. I already own the other one, so I will pay for the other one. It's going to cost a little bit, but yeah, I'll pay for it. Yes, makes absolute sense. Okay, so now that we have the groundwork, we're going to get into it. So for those that don't know, I've already made it through some pretty basic stuff. I have all of, I have some basic outputting going. I have the input already figured out how to read input with this nice kind of style. So I'm going to read input line by line. So all I have to do is just hit him with the registered nurse, and the input's going to go in nicely. And then boom, we got ourselves like line by line input. So that means I just need to do some input parsing, work a little bit on the output, and then build the game engine. I'm not going to go with a lot of tests this time, but instead I've never fuzz tested before in my lifetime. My goal is to use fuzz testing plus a bunch of asserts to test the program. Yeah, I think it's going to be a lot of fun. And then I may make it so that it runs in Vim as well. So you guys can have your Vim, and you just go like this. You just go, connect to the Primeagen and pop. You got like a nice little experience. What is a fuzz test? Effectively, I'm just throwing in random input all the way through. As far as I can tell with fuzz testing, you effectively can just vary the input like wild and then see what the output is. And the output, I mean, for me, because I won't know what the exact output should be, I just want no assert to go off. So it's kind of like a really great way to just pound the software with a bunch of variation and see what it is. See what happens. Gamozo can help you with fuzzing. Yeah, that's as far as I can tell. I don't actually know what fuzzing. I've never fuzz tested. So just, hey, I'm sorry, I've never fuzzed. I don't know. So quit asking me questions. We're going to find out together. I love a good pounding. Now you're speaking my language, boy.